So this is the Madonna of the Rosary, and this work was painted in Rome, Italy, and it's located in the Art Museum across from the National History Museum in Vienna, Austria. And the artist responsible for this work is Caravaggio, and he was Italian. And the medium of work is oil on canvas, and it is a Baroque piece of art. And this painting actually depicts a scene from the life of Saint Dominic, in which Mary is giving him rosaries to distribute them among believers. And it is unknown how long it took to create, but it's kind of estimated to be done between the 8th of January to mid-July 1607. And some defining characteristics of the work is that the composition of this painting is like just truly defining, as it really places the viewer in the middle of the action. And it also makes Mary really stand out as like the shining star, I said, of this painting, as she and baby Jesus are illuminated with light while the shadows are kind of being cast upon the believers below. And some historical contributions of the artist. Caravaggio is very famous. So, he is known for being a renowned yet controversial Italian painter of the Baroque period. And some of his best-known works of art are the Sic Bacchus, the Musicians, the Head of Medusa on the Shield, and the Beheading of St. John. And a personal observation is, I wonder, what really stood out to me is I was wondering who the men that are staring directly at the viewer. And I noticed the man on the right in particular first, because if you look closer, you see a red substance dripping from it. It almost looks like it's dripping from the ceiling, but it's from his head. So I'm not really familiar with anything religious. I'm not super familiar with the Bible, so I don't really know who this man is or what the blood could represent. But I did read that Caravaggio had a scar on his head, so maybe that was just Caravaggio's way of kind of inserting himself, or like a piece of himself, into this painting. And I chose this work because how beautiful the composition is. I feel like as if I'm standing a few feet away from the scene, but in real life. Like, I thought maybe the two men are glancing at me and wondering, why is she not begging for these rosaries with all these other people? I think that this work fits in very beautifully among other Baroque paintings, and of course within Caravaggio's other works, as if you look at all of his works, he has just a very common, the people in the front are very illuminated by light, and then they're in a very dark background. So, the natural and earthy tones, as well as the stark light versus dark shadowing, are all very defining characteristics of not just Caravaggio, but Baroque as a whole. And a fun fact is that the commissioner is thought to be the man on the very far left who is glancing over at the viewer.